Hey guys, I originally created this tutorial to show you how to create a center pattern for your work, but once I finished, I thought you might like to see it incorporated into a full wall hanging. So I decided to split this tutorial into two parts. Part 1, which shows you how to create the center pattern, and Part 2, which will show you how to create the remaining sections of this wall hanging. If you're interested in creating the full wall hanging, here are the details. You'll need about 500 feet of 3mm string plus about 10 feet of 7mm string to create the tassels. If you don't have 7mm string, you can use 3mm string. You'll need an extra 40 feet of 3mm string to create the tassels. Please see the description for details on the lengths of the cords you'll need. The finished wall hanging measures 2 feet wide by 3 feet long. Today I will show you how to create the center pattern, and I will also show you how to create a variation on this pattern which creates a square shape instead of the V shape seen here. I'm using 3mm string in the color Bisque, which is a really pretty pale pink color. You can find this string along with several other fiber supplies and my book, which includes 24 macrame projects, on my website lotsofknots.ca. Okay, let's get started. After completing this pattern, you will have 45 to 70 centimeters left of cord hanging from below the design. Cut one piece of string that is 9.5 feet long. Cut 16 pieces of string that are 6.5 feet long. Fold your 9.5 foot piece of string in half and attach it to your dowel, or if you're creating the full wall hanging, attach it to a 2 foot piece of driftwood using a lark's head knot. Attach it again on the right and left sides of your work using a lark's head knot. Leave 7 centimeters or 3 inches of space on your dowel in between the lark's head knots. Attach the remaining pieces to the string hanging between the lark's head knots, 8 on the right and 8 on the left. Use a cow hitch knot, which is the reverse of a lark's head knot, to attach your cords. Adjust your lark's head knots to get rid of the extra space. Use the center left cord as your filler cord and tie a double half hitch knot moving to the right. This connects the pattern in the center of your work. Use the current center left cord as your filler cord and tie 16 double half hitch knots moving to the left. Repeat on the right side of your work. Tie 10 square knots on the left side of your work to create a triangle shape as seen here. 4 square knots for the first row underneath the double half hitch knots, then 3 alternating square knots, then 2 alternating square knots, then 1 square knot for the fourth row. Repeat on the right side of your work. Using the inside left cord as your filler cord, tie 4 double half hitch knots working down and to the left. Using the current inside left cord as your filler cord, tie 7 double half hitch knots working down and to the left. Repeat on the right side of your work. Next, we will tie a diamond in the middle of our work. Using the inside left cord as your filler cord and the inside right cord as your working cord, tie a double half hitch knot to connect the two sides. Use the current inside left cord as your working cord and tie 5 double half hitch knots working down and to the left. Repeat on the right side of your work. Tie a square knot in the middle of the diamond. Tie 5 double half hitch knots to create the bottom left section of your diamond. Use the 10th cord from the left as your filler cord and tie 6 double half hitch knots to create the section surrounding the diamond. Leave a bit of space on your filler cord before tying the first knot so that the bottom half of the design lines up nicely with the top half of the design. Then tie 5 double half hitch knots to create the bottom right section of your diamond. Use the inside left cord as your filler cord and the inside right cord as your working cord and tie a double half hitch knot to connect the diamond at the bottom. Tie one more double half hitch knot on the left to complete the section surrounding the diamond, then tie 7 double half hitch knots on the bottom right side of your work to complete that section. Tie a row of 4 double half hitch knots on the bottom left side of your work to mirror the top section. Use the outside left cord as your filler cord and tie a row of double half hitch knots underneath the square knots. Tie 8 double half hitch knots total. Leave a bit of space on your filler cord before tying your first double half hitch knot so that it sits underneath the first square knot. If you want to create the square-shaped variation of this design as seen here, skip to 1355. If not, continue on. Skip the first 2 cords on the left. Use the 3rd cord as your filler cord and tie 6 double half hitch knots. Repeat on the right side of your work. Here's the variation on this design if you're wanting to create more of a square shape. Working on the left, use the same filler cord as you did to tie the first row of double half hitch knots under the square knots. Leave a bit of space on your filler cord and then start tying a row of double half hitch knots working down and to the left. Tie as many double half hitch knots as you'd like. I'll tie 5 here. Repeat on the right side of your work. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, it would really help me out if you could hit the thumbs up below, and if you think this tutorial may be useful for others, please feel free to share it. I love to see your work, but sometimes I can miss it, so please tag me on Instagram or Facebook if you've used one of my tutorials or if you're using some of my supplies so I can see your work. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly video tutorials. Thank you.